Ty, it's a big day in NBA news. Um, so we're just going to go ahead and start by getting this U.S. Open shit out of the way. I know you want to talk about Brooks Koepka. I would rather talk about his girlfriend, but I'll
That
let
Joe
you
Buck
go.
doesn't know.
Yeah, Joe
Man,
Buck. God, he's so terrible at broadcasting.
he's terrible. He should stick to baseball. That's it. He's not
Yeah,
good doing it, but he should stick to it.
keep him away from baseball.
Fox needs to get away from golf immediately. All these gimmicks and the brownie points and bullshit, we got to get rid of it.
Yeah, he's really bad. So go ahead and give us what you have on the U.S. Open because you were the one person watching it in the world this week.
Yeah. No, I don't think I was alone here, but Brooks Koepka went out and absolutely dominated. He's huge. He looks just like Dustin Johnson, maybe putts a little bit better. Had stones in the Ryder Cup as a rookie, went 3-1 on a single, beat Danny Will at 5-4. The kid's incredible, and when Ricky Fowler got off to the hot start, completely collapsed, went 3 under for the rest of the tournament. Justin Thomas shot a 63 on Saturday, blew it on Sunday. Koepka played steady golf, and it was fun to watch.
The one part of the U.S. Open I did want to talk about, even though I admit that I didn't watch it, is Ricky Fowler. I am a big fan of Ricky Fowler.
So is the rest of America.
Everyone loves Ricky. Ricky, It's time to step your shit up. All right, quit choking in the final round of majors. It's embarrassing. I'm so tired of watching him lose on Sunday or Saturday. You know, moving day.
Go back to Friday. He's fucking aiming for the middle of greens. He's not going at the flag anymore.
He's not playing confident golf, and it's very embarrassing.
He's got the best coach in the fucking world too. He's working out with Butch Harmon.
He wants to play like he wants to go out and like live this playboy lifestyle that he shows us, and then like when he gets on the course, he's just terrible, and it's embarrassing. It's frustrating to watch because I root for him so hard, but you know maybe it's time that he stops going out in the public so much and just starts focusing on golf.
I wouldn't call him a choker, but he definitely doesn't do what he needs to do to win on Sundays in majors. He played well in the Ryder Cup too. He's got a couple top fives now in majors.
He has
he's doing his part.
Second place finishes or 6 top 5 finishes in majors.
Yeah, he's got to win one. He's got to bust through.
He really has to win one.
So is Justin Thomas. He's got to get out of Jordan Spieth's fucking shadow, because Spieth it looks like a 1-year wonder. I get the kid's 22, 23, and he's got all the room in the world to grow, but he hasn't really done much since that last U.S. Open.
He's got 20 more years though.
No, absolutely. Have you seen? You didn't watch? Did you see this picture of Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth together?
No.
When they were 14, it's a picture of them in like an amateur tournament in France, and fucking Justin Thomas is shoveling in hot dogs. It's a funny picture. You gotta see it.
I remember when everyone was talking about Spieth like he was going to be the next Tiger.
Yeah,
I thought that was a little premature when they were doing it, and now
no shit, the kid's 20.
Yeah, and now it looks like it was definitely a little premature.
Well, everyone had those talks with Rory too. It's been a couple different guys' years. It went Rory to Day to Spieth to DJ, and now the last 7 winners are all first-time winners.
Yeah, that's been what's been impressive about golf this season. Is that it's been a lot of different guys, and America's been exposed to a bunch of different champions.
Absolutely, and it's going to make the Ryder Cup a lot of fun next year.
Yep. All right, cool. Well, I'm boring myself to sleep just talking about this. Let's go ahead and talk about what we actually need to be talking about, which is the NBA. There was a lot of stuff going on last night. I have a problem with Woj because what he did with the whole Porzingis thing, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. First off, let's talk about the moves that did happen. First news that broke yesterday was the Lakers trading D'Angelo Russell and Timothy Mozgov to the Nets, and then in return, they got Brook Lopez and the 27th pick. I know that you and I are on different sides of this trade. I think it was a horrible trade for the Lakers. It was a joke. What do you think? Why is Brook Lopez an asset?
No big names got moved at all. So, I mean, it wasn't
D'Angelo Russell was taken number 2 overall just a couple years ago.
Who was taken 2 after LeBron? Darko. Yeah, Darko was taken 2 too. So it doesn't mean that because you're taken high that you're going to fucking pan out. But Brook Lopez could be an asset to this Lakers team, especially if they're trying to build for Paul George or LeBron James. You cleared up $50 million cap space, which I think is the biggest asset that they got in return. Brolo finally needed to leave Brooklyn. He's been just killed there, but I think he's developed a pretty good outside game. He's a huge guy. I know he doesn't really rebound a lot, but he doesn't get a lot of chances, I don't think.
He's the only 7. What do you mean? The Nets aren't missing enough shots? Is that what you're saying?
I think that they don't I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why he averages 5 rebounds. It really does not make sense.
Because he's a terrible rebounder, Ty. All he can do is shoot. And he doesn't even have an outside shot. I look at Brook Lopez as a looter in a riot. Okay, teams are going to score 90 points every game, no matter what. Someone's got to score for the Nets. Jeremy Lin's not playing, so it's got to be Brook Lopez because he's the only guy with any offensive talent. He's been being shopped at the deadline for 5
years now.
Yeah, nobody wants him for a reason. So they're taking they're giving away Mozgov in his ridiculous contract, and they're taking back Brook Lopez, which is not a very good contract.
No, he's just they're clearing up room to try to get bigger guys.
Okay, and I get that you're trying to clear up room for Paul George and LeBron, but here's the deal. I think when LeBron leaves Cleveland, which it looks more and more like he's going to do next season, I don't think he's going to the Lakers, dude. I think he wants to go to the Clippers.
That would be awesome.
I know we talked about this, I think last week, but if he goes to the Lakers, he's a nobody. I mean, well, okay, he's not a nobody, but if he hangs another banner in Staples Center for the for the Lakers, it's like, oh, okay, LeBron won us one, great. You know, he's not Kobe to them, he's not Shaq to them, he's not Magic to them. If he goes to the Clippers and he wins their first title, he's going to be the greatest Clipper ever. He can play one season.
Yeah, imagine him having his jersey retired in 3 different arenas.
That would be amazing.
That'd
and
be
I think
huge.
And the Clippers already have the base. They already have Chris Paul. They were talking last night with the Suns. They're in heavy trade talks to get rid of DeAndre.
Oh, yeah?
So that moves that cap room out of the way for them to sign Carmelo and LeBron.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
And I think when LeBron leaves the Cavs, he's going to want to play with his friends. He wants this banana boat thing to be real. He's said it before. There's no point in leaving the Cavs if he's just going to, play for the Lakers.
That's low-key why D-Wade opted into this contract, because now he's done the year again, back to free agency. You got LeBron, who's done the year, free agent. Chris Paul, I think, is a free agent this year. So
D-Wade opted into this contract because he's never going to make $24 million ever again.
Ever again, no shit.
That's why he opted into this deal. But I think in terms of the Lakers, I don't think trading D'Angelo Russell is a very good idea. I think that he's a piece – between last year and this year, he got better. Okay, he shot at pretty much the same efficiency, but he assisted more. He rebounded more. He was more of a leader. He didn't have any of that ridiculous rookie stuff. You saw that 40-point game against, I think, the Nets, actually, ironically enough.
Of course.
So you see that he can be a really talented player and why they took him number 2 overall.
I credit a lot of that to Luke Walton, though, coming in this year. He completely rebuilt that offense, and obviously they didn't go anywhere. So, I mean, you can say that he's just a looter in a riot. That he passed the ball out, he dished it. I mean, he is a good player. He killed it at Ohio State. He definitely does have potential, but I think the Lakers just see that Lonzo Ball is going to walk in and replace him.
Okay, fair enough. I just think that it's kind of silly to move cap room when you're going to move your most valuable asset. They say Ingram's their most valuable asset. Okay, whatever you say, Magic. I didn't think much of Ingram coming out of the draft. I still don't think he's I don't think he's going to be very good. I don't think that draft was good in general because, Simmons didn't play a single minute, but, what did he win, 8 games in college?
Yeah, he's qualified to win Rookie of the Year again, though.
Right, okay. Good for him. Speaking of guys that aren't very good, Miles Plumlee and Marco Bellinelli traded to the Hawks in return for a guy who's not very good anymore, Dwight Howard. So they also swapped picks. The Hawks got the 41st pick. The Hornets get the 31st pick. I think it's a great trade for the Hornets. Howard hadn't been great in a while. He hasn't been D12. He hasn't been Superman. But he's still a guy that's going to go out and get you 14 points, 13 rebounds a game. Charlotte was 20th in the league last year in rebound differential. They were getting out-rebounded almost every single game. I think him and Kemba can kind of become like a Chris Paul and DeAndre type thing.
They definitely got a chance to. I think Charlotte sees him as a bit of muscle. Now, Cody's not your biggest muscle down there. So, and Dwight, he's adding a 3-point shot now. He knows that his
No,
career
stop.
He's the one saying it. It's not just me. Him and fucking Paul Pierce are all over NBA Jump and whatnot.
He also said he shoots 75% free throws in practice.
Yeah, no shit, right? When the pressure's off.
Do you think that the dude who's been in the league 13 years is going to start taking 6 threes a game when he's taken like 10 in his career?
I'm curious to see if he's going to start pulling up.
Okay, let me end your curiosity right now. He's not going to start pulling up. That's ridiculous.
Okay, we're going to find out. On a team that has almost nothing other than Kemba, why not give it a shot?
I think something like 70+% of his points have come off dunks in his career.
That makes total sense.
He was the first DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Start shooting threes.
He's the one saying it, and I think this just fills out Bellinelli. He's now been everywhere. He's played for all 30 teams.
I like Bellinelli. I really do.
He plays for fucking everybody.
He can shoot, man. Everyone needs a shooter, and he doesn't cost very much. Hawks really lost this trade.
Man, the Hawks went from they won the East a couple years ago, and now they're just fumbling.
And they gave up a first-round pick to get rid of Dwight Howard. Is that like what sense does that make? I get that it was a late first-round pick, but how does that make you better?
Everyone wants to get rid of Dwight.
I don't get it. He was their best player. He was their best player. He's from Atlanta. He liked Atlanta.
They sound like he liked it. I mean,
they seemed to like him.
He doesn't help anybody win.
Okay. He doesn't. He's not a big factor. He's not Orlando Dwight.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's not the guy. And his career was kind of like 100% he's a Hall of Famer. Okay, let me just start out by saying that. But I think his career was a little bit of a disappointment.
His career is absolutely a disappointment. I don't consider him a Hall of Famer by any means.
Oh my God, come on, Ty.
Zero championships. He got a shitty team there. I get it, but other people have gotten shitty teams there.
Okay, let's look back to his 2008 season when he was in Orlando. The year that they was that the year that they made the finals?
I think so. Oh wait,
maybe 07, maybe the year before.
Yeah, one of the years.
It was the year before. Okay, where he averaged 21 points, 14 boards a game, on 60% shooting.
Great, he did it for a year.
No,
longevity gets you in the Hall of Fame.
Multiple years, Ty.
Longevity gets you in the Hall of Fame. What's he doing now?
He led the league in rebounding 5 separate times. He led the league in blocks twice. He was Rudy Gobert before Rudy Gobert was Rudy Gobert. He was great.
Okay, Rudy Gobert's not a fucking Hall of Famer.
No, Rudy Gobert's been playing for 3 years. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But he was Rudy Gobert in the post defensively, and he was Shaq on offense. He was amazing. He rebounded like nobody in the league. Well, they called him Superman for a reason, and it wasn't just his shoulder.
He called himself Superman.
Everyone called him Superman.
Because he called it himself.
Everyone called him Superman. Dwight Howard. So Basketball Reference does this thing, the Hall of Fame calculator. Like, what % chance does this person have to get into the Hall of Fame? Dwight Howard, 100%.
100?
Yes.
I don't see him as a Hall of Famer.
Why?
I don't know. He doesn't help you win games. You look at Hall of Famers, and even the worst. He
doesn't help you now, but he used to.
Yeah, he helped Orlando for a few years, but it never mounted anything.
Okay, Basketball Reference probability calculator for Hall of Fame. LeBron, 1,000. Dwayne, 1,000. Dirk, 1,000. Chris Paul, 0.9999. Kevin Durant, same. Paul Pierce, same. Chris Bosh, same. Dwight, Carmelo, Steph, Westbrook, Vince Carter, Tony Parker, Pau Gasol, James Harden are all the guys over 90%. That's 15 dudes in the league right now, minus Paul Pierce, that are going to be in the Hall of Fame, no doubt.
I don't know about that list.
Well, who do you think?
We'll move that to another day.
Okay, we'll move it to another day. Moving on. I'm really mad at Woj. Okay, so Woj, I had a lot of respect for him as a journalist. When he was at Yahoo, it seemed like he was always breaking real stories. But then when it comes to the Knicks, Woj has always been a little bit testy. There was a great Twitter thread about it yesterday. I can't remember who did it. I think his name is Zach DeLudo. He writes for Posting and Toasting, which is an SB Nation blog, about the Knicks. And it was in reference to Woj, like, stirs up things about the Knicks, and he doesn't report. He gives his own little opinions on stuff. So yesterday, when there was nothing going on in the news, Woj, the new ESPN guy, decides he's going to stir up the pot a little bit and say that Porzingis was on the block. This did not sit well with me. I was very upset for the entire day, thinking every time my phone rang, I thought, oh my God, here goes Porzingis. Where's he going? It was first it was the Celtics, and then I read the Lakers, and you never know. It was just a very frustrating day. Look, the Knicks do not need to be trading Porzingis, man.
No, they don't need to trade him, but there's no reason to not listen to talks and field options.
What? Who's going to give him something better? Like, the only trade – there are a few trades that I would accept for him. I would accept one of Golden State's 4 dudes, okay?
Of course.
That's what it takes, Ty. Draft picks is not going to do it, okay?
That's what I'm telling you. The Knicks have all the power in this. They're the one shopping a top 10 player. They can ask for whatever the fuck they want.
I mean, I guess, but like, why would the Cavs shop LeBron? Like, does that make sense? Because I'm not trying to compare Porzingis and LeBron, but their value is basically the same.
Okay, their value is the same. The guy who made 7 straight finals to a guy who's been in the league for 2 years, their value is not the same at all.
Because LeBron's on a 1-year contract. Is what
their
I'm saying.
value is not the same.
Right now?
Right now, and that's the reason that they're not shopping LeBron.
Right now, if the Cavs were to trade LeBron on his 1-year deal, what do you think they get for him?
They can get anything that they fucking wanted. They can go to the Sixers and get pick 1. Anybody would give anything they wanted to go to the finals next year, and that's what LeBron did.
They would probably get 3 first-round picks and a player for LeBron, right?
Yeah,
that's what the Knicks would get.
AP would get 2. AP would get 2 and a worse player.
Okay, maybe. KP,
or you can go shop around for real guys.
KP is still in his rookie deal. He is 21 years old, and he's 7'3" with a 3-point jumper. There's no point in trading him. He's amazing.
He ain't getting to the finals though, and that's what LeBron's value.
What do you mean? He's not getting? He's been in the league 2 years. Todd.
He's not getting to the finals next year.
No,
LeBron.
No,
you could write LeBron into the finals next year.
He's not getting to the he's not getting to the finals next year.
So that's what I'm saying. KP is at least worth shopping for a team that is a million miles away. They might as well be playing baseball. That's how far they are from the finals.
Come on now.
If the Celtics gave you pick 3, where you can go up and get Josh Jackson, they give you the number 1 next year, where you can go get I don't know whoever is going to be the best player next year. Haven't looked at college basketball yet. And then you can get Terry Rozier, or you can get Jay Crowder even.
Do I take it?
I'll give you Jay Crowder. You don't take that? You don't even think about that?
No, not even for a second. Look, okay, draft picks are question marks. That's what they are. No draft picks a sure thing. You know, the Sixers went out and took Ben Simmons, number 1, thinking, oh, what was he touted as? The next LeBron? He's 7 foot. He can handle the ball. He can pass. Okay, Ben Simmons didn't play 1 single minute last year. So draft picks they're draft picks. That's what they are. They're not players. We don't know what they're going to be. Porzingis was taken with the number 4 overall pick. Remember when we took him, everyone hated the pick?
Yeah.
Okay? Draft picks they're question marks. So there's no point in trading an established talent who we know is going to be one of the great players in the NBA for the next 15 years. Based on what we've seen the first 2 seasons, he's been phenomenal. He's been great.
See, I don't give him established great yet because it's only 2 years. He has played well in these 2 years, but he's playing on a shitty team, so I don't really see him like you see him. He's your guy, so I get it. But I don't know if the rest of the world sees him like that.
In his first 2 years, he's been shooting efficiently. His game has grown. You see you can just watch him and tell that, damn, this guy is going to be really, really good. And I think that he's one of the top 5-6 trade pieces in the NBA right now, and there's no point in shopping him because we don't need to be trading him.
No, I mean
the Knicks have waited so long to have someone that we could build around. We thought it was going to be Carmelo and Amari, and that team was great. They won 54 games, and then Amari went and his knees gave out, and Tyson Chandler couldn't dunk anymore.
Fire hydrant.
Right? No, Amari did not.
I know. You're going to try to speed past that. You can't miss what happened in Miami.
Right. I remember him punching the fire hydrant. I was very mad at him for that. But that team was great. They won 54 games, and then what do? We ship off Shumpert. We ship off JR. Amari gets hurt, and so we can't build around Carmelo anymore because we have no assets. We went out and got Barks. This Knicks franchise, man, they've been starved, believe me, as a fan, for so long of someone we could love. We had Allen Houston for a while. We had Nate Robinson. Well, it's been since Ewing since we've had a piece that fans can like.
No Starberry?
Good God. But it's been so long since we've had someone we can be excited about. Personally, I love Melo. He's not someone we can build around right now. Porzingis is the future of this team. He's the future of the NBA. And moving him not only alienates most of your fan base, but it's just a bad business decision. It makes no sense. The team does not get better in any way.
Yeah, no question. I'm just saying it's worth listening to talk.
I don't know. I don't trust Phil Jackson, first off. Oh my God. Okay, Phil has no business being an executive. Winning 11 rings does not buy you GM status, I don't think.
No.
He's no more qualified to be the GM of a team than me, you, or LeBron James. Like it's true though. I would trust LeBron to be the GM of the Cavs before I'd trust Phil Jackson to be the GM of the Cavs.
Player GM.
They're both terrible. They have no experience in the job. If Phil walks in, the first thing he does is re-sign Carmelo to this huge deal. And he gives him a no-trade clause, which only 3 people in the history of basketball have ever had, okay? LeBron, Dirk, and Melo. He go ahead and he grants Melo this no-trade clause status. And 2 years later, what does he do? He starts alienating Melo. He wants to trade Melo. He tries to make Melo feel like this guy who doesn't mean anything. You're the one who gave him the contract, Phil. It's very frustrating, man. He doesn't know what he's doing. And Dolan is just going to let him make this draft pick. It's the most important pick we've had in years, okay? The Porzingis pick is important. He didn't nail Porzingis because he wasn't the one that made that selection. Clarence Gaines made that selection, our head scout. He deferred to Clarence Gaines, which I will say is great on his part. Good job, Phil. Thank you for deferring to Clarence Gaines on the Porzingis pick because it ended up being the best pick there was. I remember we were talking about Moutier, but I also feel like if Jahlil Okafor had fallen to 4, who do you think we would have taken?
Oh, Okafor, no question.
So that tells me that it's not really that he picked Porzingis. He pulled Porzingis out of his ass.
Yeah, he took the best player available on the board, which is what the NBA should do.
He fell ass backwards into the best player available on the board. Probably. Everyone thought Moutier was the best player on the board. Yeah, and even Arian Hezonja was thought to be better than Porzingis. And we just happened to get Porzingis. It was a lucky break the Knicks haven't had in decades.
Yeah.
So I think it's time for Phil to go. That's my little mini rant on Phil Jackson. Man, he's so frustrating, dude. I just can't stand him.
They thought they were going to get Pat Riley, and instead they got Phil Jackson.
We already had Pat Riley.
Yeah, but you had Pat Riley as a coach, not GM.
I wish he was back. So from something that frustrates me to something that excites me, because I love talking shit about this guy. Kyrie Irving says if there's any indication LeBron's leaving, he's requesting a trade. What say you, Ty?
That's a little bit of a coward move, but I think he also seen that without LeBron, we suck. He was the guy, and you might be right. He might not be able to be the guy. A lot of point guards who aren't named Steph Curry can't really be that. Chris Paul isn't the focal point of that offense. I think a lot of the passing is the focal point of the Clipper offense. So I mean,
but you know what? You know the difference between Kyrie, Chris Paul, and Steph Curry?
What?
Chris Paul and Steph Curry don't take the most shots on their team. Blake Griffin does. Kevin Durant does.
Yeah,
Kyrie is the one leading their team in usage rate. He's shooting more than anybody in less minutes. It's ridiculous. Pass the ball to LeBron. And now when LeBron's leaving, you're going to say, oh, you know what? I want out of here because I can't win without LeBron. Go pair me up with LeBron in some other city. Because he's just going to ride his coattails.
He's going to follow him.
That's what he's going to try and do, dude. He's going to try and ride his coattails James Jones style.
James Jones style. Yeah, but they're completely different players.
Why? James Jones got the rings, dog.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm not saying that. And first of all, LeBron does take more shots than Kyrie. So let's just put that to bed. LeBron takes two more shots. LeBron takes 2 more shots than Kyrie Irving does per game. So I mean, it's
is that adjusted for rate?
No.
Okay, what do they take per 36 minutes?
Well, we're right now on the air, so I was just looking real quick.
Okay,
I'll give you the chance to go look. If Kyrie can go, and he doesn't even have to follow LeBron. Kyrie's a legitimate star. He has been for a little while now. James Jones was never the top 3-4 player on a team that he's ever been on, going back to the 1980s when he probably started.
That was a joke comparison, Ty.
Yeah. But imagine him with, like, you throw him with the young Timberwolves, or you throw him, even go to Phoenix, go pair up with Devin Booker. I think he has a chance to continue to shine.
Okay, per 36 minutes this season, Kyrie took over 20 shots a game. LeBron took 17.
Dude loves the ball. Nobody's going to argue that. The dude wants his shots.
I'm not going to go on another Kyrie rant because it's annoying.
Yeah, we don't need that. Nobody needs to hear that.
Nobody needs to hear that. But it's funny that once LeBron says he's leaving, he decides he's leaving because he can't win without LeBron, and he never will.
That's not the mentality that I wanted to see from him. That's not the mentality that I thought he had.
When Shaq left, Kobe was like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna win championships on my own." Yeah. They went out and they got Powell, which was a huge help. But he also helped develop Powell into the player he is.
Absolutely.
They had Bynum, who was good for like a week.
Yeah, exactly.
But Kyrie is not a legitimate superstar. Is that what you said?
He's a legitimate star. I ain't put super.
He's not a star. He's an okay player who was 13th in VORP for point guards, below Goran Dragic and Kemba Walker. So I wouldn't even say he was like that valuable this year. I think there were a dozen other guys that you put in.
Go look at last year's finals,
where he averaged more shots than anybody. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of Kyrie, there's a guy that they could trade him for in Indiana named Paul George.
That'd be a terrible straight-up deal. The Pacers would get screwed there.
Yeah, well, Pacers – well, I don't think the Pacers would get screwed since Paul George has said, I'm leaving after next season.
No matter what, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think that right now he's a rental. So they're going to try and get what they can. I've heard that the Lakers are trying to get move him for that number 2 pick, even though he's already said he wants to go to LA next year. What do you think about that? You think that'd be a good trade?
I think you would at least get the Pacers something back because the guy's going to leave. And the guy's not going to go anywhere other than the Lakers, it sounds like.
But I mean, like, if you're the Lakers, do you move the number 2 pick when you think Paul George is already coming at the end of the year?
No, yeah, that'd be stupid on their part. I don't know why they would risk losing Lonzo Ball or Josh Jackson or Fultz, whoever's going to land in their lap. I don't get why you would waste them for a guy who's going to leave basically any team he's on to come to you next year.
Here's why, I think. Let me play devil's advocate because I also think it would be a terrible idea. I remember, again, back to the Knicks, we did that with Carmelo, who said, I don't want to come to New York. I want to play for you guys. And we ended up trading Felton, Gallinari, Wilson Chandler. We traded the whole
squad.
We gave up the whole squad to get Melo when he was going to come to us in the offseason anyway. So the issue with the Lakers doing that would be if they didn't trade the number 2 pick for Paul George this season, and let's say Paul George ends up in Cleveland with LeBron, and somehow they win the championship next year, you think he's leaving?
No.
I don't either. That's why the Lakers would probably even just be thinking about it, because if they can't get him and he goes to another team and has success, say he goes to Utah, I don't think he wants to be in Utah. But that Utah team, if they added Paul George, do you know how good they would be?
Yeah, they'd get great.
They would be great team.
Yeah, but both of your stars are leaving the year after that. I think Gordon Hayward's going to Boston, and I think Paul George is going to the Lakers.
But both of them are free agents this year. Gordon's a free agent this year. He can opt in and become a free agent next year if he wants. Paul George is a free agent next year. I think that if he goes to Utah and he likes it there, you never know. We all know he wants to be on the West Coast. Pick up snowboarding. He could be a Mormon. But yeah, that Utah team is already the best defensive team in the NBA by metrics. They add Paul George, who's an outstanding defender and one of the best offensive players in the NBA. That team is a team that can become the next Spurs.
Yeah, you're going to go head-to-head with Golden State in the Western Conference Finals, that's for sure.
I think for sure they make the Western Conference Finals with that team.
Absolutely.
So say he lands there, he ends up really liking it. They get a point guard to add there, and that team becomes legitimate.
You got to get Gordon.
But that's why the Lakers would consider trading this number 2 pick for him or whatever they can trade for him, because they just cleared the cap space, so they're trying to get Paul George. You might as well just go ahead and pull the trigger, because if he doesn't come after you cleared all that cap space, the Knicks cleared all that cap space because we thought King James was coming to New York. It didn't happen, and you see where we are now.
It becomes a lonely ride.
7 years later, it becomes a long, long road to rebuild, and it's very difficult.
Yep, but the key to rebuilding, the NBA draft.
Yes, great segue, Ty, because I wanted to talk about to close. Well, not close the show because there's one topic I want to talk about after this, but our mock drafts. Me and you put together a little lottery top 10 mock draft just to see what we think, where we think players will be going this year. So let's go pick by pick. Number 1, the Philadelphia 76ers. I haven't taken Markelle Fultz, which is pretty much a no-brainer.
Yep. The consensus number 1, me, you, the rest of the world all got it.
I think it's kind of crazy that we never saw, raise your hand if you saw Markelle Fultz play in college. Yeah, that's what I thought. The guy that nobody knows, but he's 6'4". He was very efficient looking at his numbers.
He's got almost a 6'10" wingspan.
Yeah, he's big.
Freakish.
He does sound freakish, and his numbers back it up. On paper, he looked really good, but last year they drafted a guy that didn't win it but 10 games in college. This year they're drafting a guy that won 8 games in college. Neither of them made the college tournament, where there are 64 teams that make it. What makes them think that either of these guys are going to playoffs in the NBA against grown-ass men?
I don't know, man. They take the best available, who they think is the best available. I don't know who their GM is, but he's got his head up his ass.
Who do you think is the best available?
I got to think Josh Jackson's the best available.
That's what I've been saying.
The kid's coming from a blue blood. He made it to the Elite Eight, I think Kansas got to. Maybe the Final Four. I don't know. He was on a loaded team, experienced team. I'm almost positive he's not a freshman. He is a freshman, yes. I'm thinking Justin Jackson from UNC is not a freshman. But, yeah, he's also freakish. He's got a 6'10" wingspan. He's legitimately 6'9". They got him listed at 6'8".
Yeah, I think he's the best player in the draft. I really do. So number 2, the Lakers are picking. I thought for a while that they were going to take Josh Jackson. I thought the ball thing was all media smokescreen, but then they traded Russell, and it seems like they're going to take Lonzo Ball.
Yep, you just dug your own grave. Have fun with LeVar.
Yeah, have fun with LeVar. God. So number 3, Celtics. Here's where it gets a little interesting, because there's been some buzz that they're talking about taking the Duke kid, Jason Tatum, who
just because he's a better scorer, probably. But I don't see why.
I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole, dude.
Oh, someone's gonna get stuck with him in the top 5.
Someone's gonna get stuck with him. Look, man, when he was on the court with Duke, I admittedly don't watch too much college basketball, probably more than the average person, just because I'm a geek, sports dork. So what I saw of him when he was on the court with Duke, it looked like he was slowing the pace down. He kind of played ISO ball, kind of really ruined the flow of the offense, and Coach K even sat him for a while. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As someone who watches all of college basketball, I would agree with most of those points. I don't think he ruined the flow. I think they went through him, and Kennard almost deferred to him until he would kick it back out for a deep 3. They just didn't want Grayson Allen to fucking control the ball the whole game.
Yeah, well, I can't blame them for that.
Okay.
So, yeah, I have them taking Josh Jackson, but I have Tatum going to the Suns at 4. So what about you? 3-4?
I got the best player going to the Celtics, only making them fucking better, and then I got Tatum going to the Suns. Yeah. So we're the same through 4, and we'll probably go different here.
Yeah. Well, real quick, we didn't talk about the Celtics trade. This happened since our last podcast. I thought that was a great move for them.
Absolutely. You move back 2 spots to get the guy that they're saying that they wanted anyway. I mean,
Right.
you gotta assume Danny Ainge fucking knows a lot about basketball. I think he knows what he wants, and he can pretty much evaluate talent better than anybody.
Man, he is so patient because remember when they were talking about at the deadline moving all these picks that they have for Jimmy Butler?
Yeah.
I think it's so smart of him that he didn't do that because he realizes that LeBron only has 4 years left of his prime, maybe. He's waiting on LeBron to get out of the East. That's what he's doing.
That's exactly what he's doing.
And he's not building for now. He's building for the future. And this trade where they get another first-round pick.
They're just stockpiling picks, man.
It's amazing.
For the chance to go get Paul George. But, I mean, if Danny Ainge, I don't think he wants anybody who wants to go to the Lakers after watching that 30 for 30. Which if you haven't seen yet, definitely go watch it. It was great. Almost 5 hours because it's 3 different parts, but it was amazing.
Yeah, I'm not watching 5 hours of a 30 for 30.
Oh, shit, it was great.
I watched that OJ documentary that they did.
Yeah, fuck that. That doesn't even compare to this.
Yeah, that was like 9 hours.
Mm-hmm. Like 7 different parts. Took like a week to watch.
So yeah, so we both 1 through 4 we are dead even. So
Yep.
Kings pick 5. Who do you have them taking?
I got them taking the best point guard in the draft.
No!
De'Aaron Fox. Yes, sir.
I had them taking De'Aaron Fox as well, but that is disrespectful to call him the best point guard in the draft.
He's better than Fultz and he's better than Ball. I mean, what are you going to say? Dennis Smith is better than him?
You didn't watch Fultz play.
Well, true. But, I mean, I watched De'Aaron Fox play on, again, a blue blood, and I put a lot of stock into where they played. And I get 64 teams make it, but there's like 20-something automatic bids. And then there's a lot of politics that go into the other teams that make it. So I don't discredit Fultz for not making the tournament. He could have went and earned that at-large bid, but, I mean, it happens. De'Aaron Fox playing at Kentucky, balling at Kentucky, showing up Lonzo Ball twice. He's the best point guard in the league.
Yeah, I think De'Aaron Fox is really good as well. I also haven't come to the Kings. Did you see what his dad said yesterday?
That he ate up Lonzo Ball twice, right?
Well, he said he ate his ass up twice, and then the internet just blew up saying De'Aaron Fox eats ass, which I thought was funny. But I have him to go into the Kings. The reason I won't call him the best point guard in basketball is because his jump shot is broke. It's bad.
True.
What did he average? He averaged 17 points, 5 assists, 4 boards. That's great. He also shot 24% from 3.
And you're going to pair him up with Willie Cauley-Stein, who was also at Kentucky. To learn under Darren Collison a little bit.
He shot 24% from 3. Don't just blow by that. His jump shot is broke as shit.
He doesn't take 3-pointers.
He took a lot of 3-pointers.
He shouldn't take any more 3-pointers.
Okay.
He should continue to drive to the basket and dunk on centers, which is what he's good at.
He is good at that, but this game, the NBA now is about the 3-point shot, man.
At Dwight Howard.
3-pointers are worth more than 2s. The Warriors have changed the game, and the Kings are about to take somebody, and both of our assumptions, that can't shoot 3s, and that's what worries me about Fox. And people are saying that he can develop a jumper, but we said the same thing about Justice Winslow, who last season before he got hurt and after he came back was the worst jump shooter in the NBA.
Yeah, he has another broke jump shot. Love watching that every game.
And they thought he was a steal when he fell to 10. The Heat took him. I don't think he was a steal. He has no trade value now. 2 years later, he's pretty bad, man.
I think we got him at 10 or 12. I mean,
10.
There wasn't much better in an admittedly bad draft.
But that's what worries me about Fox is that wait, sorry, what? Did you say
that draft was terrible? Draft? The Justice Winslow draft?
You think that was a bad draft?
Winslow was Okafor and
Porzingis and Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, so you get out of the top 5, and then who was there? Who was taken after him that you want to say was better than Winslow?
I don't know. I don't have it right in front of me, but I don't think that was a bad draft.
I think he was one of the best players in it, and I never got on the Heat for taking him because it's really hard to say that after him anybody was better taken.
Look, he was a really good defender, and he still is. But they took him with the hope that he could advance into an offensive player. Taken right after Justice Winslow was Miles Turner. He's better. Right after that, Devin Booker. He's better. Kelly Oubre Jr. has turned into a pretty damn good player. Let's see. Larry Nance Jr., he's been good. RJ Hunter, he could shoot. Willie Hernan-Gomez, one of the best. He was the only center since Shaq to average points and rebounds. I think he averaged 15 and 15 per 30, which is the first guy since Shaq to do that. That's a pretty damn good draft.
I'll give you those. I'll give Booker and Hernan-Gomez better than
Hernan-Gomez. Oh, Kelly Oubre Jr., there's no debate he's better than Justice.
Yeah, because he had one good game in the playoffs.
No, because he had a good year last year, and he's developing.
Winslow is a lockdown defender. His offense is merely terrible.
The worst in the
NBA. We're talking about broke jump shots. Can we look at who's getting taken number 2? And that fucking windmill jump shot?
Oh, my God.
So I'm talking about broke jump shots when De'Aaron Fox ate his ass up twice.
Look, it looks goofy, but he hits them. So
right.
I can't hate on Ball's jumper when he's draining them. All right, anyway, number 6, the Magic pick. I think this is where we'll probably diverge. I have them taking Jonathan Isaac, the big, long forward out of Florida State. Look, he's local, well, as local as you can get. And he has a really big potential for growth. A lot of scouts really seem to like him because of his length, his jumping ability, and his jump shot. I didn't really like him because I didn't think he was super consistent. So who do you think the Magic take?
I got the Magic taking the actual best shooter and another Kentucky guy, Malik Monk. He's going to walk right in, be a legitimate three-point shooter. I'd see him leading rookies in scoring average. I just see him being kind of like a Devin Booker almost.
I love Malik Monk as well. Yesterday in an interview with The Vertical, Malik Monk said that the team that was drafting him had orange in their color scheme, and that was all he was going to say. So that's a pretty weird thing to say, unless you're pretty confident that the Suns or the Knicks are going to take you because Oklahoma City picks like 26 or something like that. And I don't think he's going to fall that far. Yeah, no, that's not what's going to happen. Nope. Yeah, well, maybe, he doesn't know if the Magic changed their mind at the last second. I think the Magic, like Isaac, they don't really have someone that can fill his role, like a big, long guy. They have Aaron Gordon, but he plays power forward. Isaac's a 3. I think he's a good fit there. I think that's who they want. The next pick is the Timberwolves at 7. Who do you have them taking? Ty.
I got the Timberwolves adding another just terrible, looking great young guy in Lauri Markkanen. He's going to walk in, and it's going to make the Timberwolves feel like, oh, yeah, this is actually going to be the year, and it's not going to happen.
I don't think they'd take Lauri Markkanen, but I just don't think he adds up in that scheme. Why would he be playing? They want him to play next to Karl Anthony Towns?
I think so. And I look at it more as you don't draft to scheme. You draft for best player available.
No, I disagree. Do you draft for best player available?
Go look at the 2003-2004 draft, the most loaded draft of all time. Who was taken 2?
Not the best player available.
Not the best player available. And look at what the fucking Pistons did. They missed out on 3 Hall of Famers right after that. You draft for best available. You do not draft for scheme.
No, you don't draft for best available. Because okay, so you're saying that if the best available player was a center at this pick, you think that the Timberwolves would take a center?
No, probably not, because they would draft for scheme. You
don't draft for best available. That's ridiculous.
No, I'm saying I would. I'm not saying, do I think they would do it? No, because they're probably thinking like you and thinking like a lot of the world does now, that you draft for scheme and you try to build there. But, I mean, in 2004, the Pistons drafted a center to fit next to Ben Wallace.
Okay. But if every year the Sixers have the first pick, like they have for the, whatever, and the best available player every season has been a center.
Yep. Then
do you think they're going to take center every year? Like, how would that help them?
Well, I don't think the best player available
But what if?
Okay, well, let's go. What if the best player available is a small forward every year? Which is almost what Fultz is. That's a fucking huge point guard.
He's 6'4", Ty. He's not a small forward.
Yes, I would take the best player available. I guess even despite position every year as the number 1 pick.
I think basketball, it's becoming a little more positionless as it goes along. But it still matters. You still have to have guys that know how to play a certain position. How can they defend a certain position? You can't draft small forwards every year if you need a point guard, right? That just doesn't make sense. The Knicks, for example, should not be drafting a forward or a center this year because we have enough of them. We need guards. Speaking of guards, at the Wolves pick at 7, I have them taking Dennis Smith Jr. I think that Dennis Smith Jr. is very underrated as a player. Look, man, he had great games this year. We talk about scoring. He scored 40 against Duke, man. Okay?
Yeah.
He gets buckets. He was pretty efficient. He's probably the most explosive player in the draft. We can give him that, right? When he gets in the lane, I've watched a few NC State games. I've seen his highlight packages and his draft scouting, whatever. When he gets in the lane, man, he has bunnies.
He's not De'Aaron Fox, though. De'Aaron Fox has more bounce in the lane.
I don't know if he has more bounce. I think they have equal bounce. I think Smith, off the one step, is super fast. He's like a little Derrick Rose with a jump shot. And the Timberwolves have been very active about saying that they want to get rid of Rubio. I think they want a younger guard who can score. Dennis Smith can shoot. He can shoot from 3, from the mid-range. He's a great dunker. I think that's the guy to go with there. Now with the only pick in the draft that actually matters, number 8, the Knicks are picking. They got screwed into the number 8 pick. We had the coin flip with the Wolves for the number 6 pick, and then the lotto came, and we ended up falling to 8. So it was pretty devastating to me on the lottery night. I was pretty upset, and I'm going to be even more upset tomorrow night, I'm sure.
No doubt.
I have the Knicks taking Malik Monk. Monk said that the team is going to draft him as orange in their color scheme. I don't know if I should believe him or not, but I want to. I really want to. It's either going to be Monk or Frank Ntilikina from France. I really don't want that guy. So I shouldn't say I don't want him. If Monk's available, I do not want Ntilikina.
Absolutely.
I think that Monk's a better shooter. He's an established talent. We don't know what Frank's going to turn out to be. Who do you have my Knicks taking?
They're not smart enough to go after Justin Jackson, but I am smart enough to.
Whoa. What?
You wouldn't take Justin Jackson on your Knicks right now?
Hell, not at 8. Are you kidding me?
God. Justin Jackson is the 4th or 5th best player in this draft.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He helped UNC get to where they got to. Last year into the championship, or 2 years ago into the championship.
Ty, who was the last UNC player to do anything worthwhile in the NBA? Go ahead, I'll wait.
Yeah, you're gonna need to wait a second. I gotta think of who went to UNC.
Yeah, nobody. Because you say you put a lot of value in where these players go. I mean,
what do you mean?
You said you put a lot of value in where these players go to college. Justin Jackson went to UNC. Who have they produced recently that's been worth a damn in the NBA?
I'm about to find out.
Yeah, you have to look it up, though. That's the thing. You can't.
Oh, shit. I got to think back to who even went.
Vince Carter is the answer. He's the last guy that was worth it.
Maybe.
Jackson had it.
All right, you're right. But who says that this kid can't be that? He's 6'8". He averaged 18 and 5.
I say he can't be that.
You wouldn't plug him next to KP to go.
I would. Listen, I like Justin Jackson. I think he's a good role player. I think in the lottery, we do not need to be taking role players. We need to be taking shots at guys that we think can lead our franchise. And we also don't need a forward, like I was just saying 2 minutes ago.
Malik Monk might as well be a forward.
Malik Monk is a guard. They're talking about moving him up to point guard in the NBA.
You don't move up to point guard in the NBA. If you weren't a point guard before that, you're not a point guard in the NBA. Justin Jackson is a junior. He's going to be 23 when most of these kids are going to be 19, 20. Age helps. Experience helps. Playing for a coach like Roy Williams helps. The kid's got game. He can play defense, which the Knicks fucking desperately need.
Okay,
he seems like a good fit.
Every single season, he shot worse than he did the season before. His three-point percentage was 37%, which is above
average.
It's average, yeah. But he shot 7 a game, which if you're shooting 7 a game, I need you to shoot a little bit above average, right?
Yeah.
We already have a small forward who's not waiving his no-trade clause. So what are we going to do with him? We're going to sit him on the bench? We need guards.
You're going to put Melo at power forward, move KP to center.
Then what are we going to do?
Let Willie play a little bit.
Hernan
Will
Gomez
Willie be the same guy he was this year?
Okay, then what are we going to do with Noah?
Fucking get rid of him as fast as you can.
Yeah, who's going to take that contract? It's the worst deal in the NBA.
Cut him and just eat the contract.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because when he's on the court, believe it or not, he actually does have some pretty good value in what he does.
Plays a little bit of defense.
He plays some decent defense, and he's a good rebounder. So he averages I don't know what he averages. He does have some good value to the Knicks on the floor. Definitely not worth the contract or the headache.
Nope.
I wish he'd just retire, man. Him and Phil Jackson are up in Montana smoking hookah right now, just laughing about how he stole money from the Knicks.
Probably. All I see is best available. Justin Jackson could almost be considered best available after Malik Monk goes. And the Knicks need all the help they can get. I'm not going to give them guards or not give them a center because they got Willie. I'm not looking at their scheme. Phil Jackson, whoever the hell is going to be the coach come next December, isn't smart enough to put out the team that you're going to draft a scheme for. So why not go for the best guy?
I don't think he's the best guy available. I mean, if we're talking about best available, then why not Frank Mason? He was far better than Justin Jackson in college.
Yeah. If you want to go get that guard, you want to go up and get him.
No, Frank Mason's not going until the second round, though. That's the thing.
Which is ridiculous.
But we can't talk about best available and you say just Justin Jackson when he's clearly not better than a guy that's going in the second round.
A 6'8" with almost a 7-foot wingspan. I think he can play small forward. He can be Jimmy Butler.
Frank Ntilikina is 6'5" with a 7-foot wingspan.
Okay, take him and bury yourself.
I don't think Jackson's going to help any team in the NBA. Well, okay, he might be a
very, very valuable rookie.
I think he might.
Whether it's fantasy beyond that,
he's not going to be anything special. I don't think. Anyway, okay, enough of that. Number 9, the Mavericks are picking. I say that they're taking Ntilikina here, the French guard that plays for Strasbourg. He's in the French championship game right now. Everyone over there has really good things to say about him. He's a defensive specialist, 6'5", 7-foot wingspan. The Knicks really like him as well, who they might take him. The Mavericks have loved him for years. Mark Cuban went over there a couple years ago to actually scout him in person, which shows how much they like him. Frank said in an interview with a French newspaper he would like to go to the Mavericks. I think it's a good fit. They need a guard. What do you think?
They do need a guard, and I haven't put Dennis Smith anywhere yet, and it hurts me to put him here because I watched too much of him at NC State, and I get it, he had the 40-point game. He also went out a couple games and scored 4 points, taking like 15, 16 shots. The dude is completely inconsistent. But yeah, I got the Mavs taking him just because he's years old. Exactly. And Justin Jackson isn't. He's 23. He's going to be smarter.
Okay, he hung up on that. And lastly, within the top 10, to round it out, who do you have the Kings taking?
I got them pairing with their 5th pick, pairing them with De'Aaron Fox. I got them taking Zach Collins. Big center out of Gonzaga. Yeah, really? He's great. Watching him in the tournament was a lot of fun.
I do think he's really good as well. I don't think he really makes sense to the Kings, though.
Who are their big guys? Willie Cauley-Stein?
Willie Trill? Yeah,
exactly.
6th overall a few years ago. He's actually pretty good, dude. He's not bad.
Yeah, he is decent. But again, I just see it as the value. You can't pass it just because you have another big guy.
See, I think there's a better player on the board, and on my board at least. I have them taking Lauri Markkanen, the Finnish sniper out of Arizona.
I already got him gone, though.
Yeah. I think that if there's a team that's going to take a chance on him, it's going to be the Kings. He plays power forward, first off, and he's a shooter that they desperately need because Buddy Hield is not the next Steph Curry, regardless of what Vivek Ranadive will tell you.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see. We'll see next week whose top 10 came out better.
We will see. To close this out real quick, there is something I want to talk about. I know you're probably not super interested in it, and most people won't be, but I don't really give a shit because it's my goddamn podcast, and I'll talk about what I want. Bellator 180 is coming up. Bellator usually sucks. this card is really, really good, and it actually excites me, man. Sorry, excuse me. Yes, Chael Sonnen is why it excites me. He is my favorite fighter of all time. He's the man. He's the greatest shit talker ever, and he's one of the greatest fighters in the history of the UFC, not of mixed martial arts. But yeah, so this is a great card because it has so many really good matchups with like names that you would know. Like Phil Davis is fighting Ryan Bader on the main card to jerk the curtain. Both those dudes were in the UFC very recently. Both of them are really good. Bader is 22-5. Davis is 17-3. They're both really good athletes. Like I'm not gonna. Do you want to make picks?
Nope. I don't even know who's fighting.
Okay, cool. So
I'll make that Craig Carton is the ringside announcer for this, and that I may be going.
Are you?
I may be. It's at MSG.
I know. Give me tickets. I want to go.
Dude, I'll make the trip up. You can buy your ass your tickets. I'm not your fucking boyfriend.
I thought you. I thought you.
Let's see if we can get some sponsored tickets. Hey guys, with our followers, our Twitter followers, come get us free tickets.
Yeah, our Twitter follower. Have the hookup for tickets? Is that what you're saying?
Huh?
I said, do you not have the hookup, or are you just like getting?
No, I ain't getting hooked up. I'm thinking about just buying them.
So you're buying tickets for guys that you don't know?
Yeah, why not? I've never been able to go to see a UFC, Bellator, any of these fights. I'd love to go see one.
That's sick. Well, you're in for a good. Let me preview it for you then. Phil Davis fighting Ryan Bader. Ryan Bader is a great fighter. Just left the UFC recently. Phil Davis is also a great fighter who left the UFC a while back. I think Phil Davis whoops his ass. Aaron Pico is fighting Zach Freeman. Aaron Pico, this will be his first professional MMA fight. He's 0-0. Zach Freeman's 8-2. Pico is an interesting prospect because he medaled in the Olympics. He is a really badass wrestler, and he has been for a long time. He's like one of the most exciting prospects in MMA right now. I think that Pico wins this one in his debut. Michael Chandler versus Brent Primus. Brent Primus is 7-0. He's undefeated. He's on a tear. However, Michael Chandler is one of the best fighters in mixed martial arts. He's not in the UFC, which is why a lot of people don't know him. But if you watch his fights with Eddie Alvarez,
exactly where I know him from.
Yeah, that might be where you know him from. Michael Chandler is one of the best fighters in the world. He is outstanding. I really like this dude. I think that he wins this fight. And maybe he comes over to the UFC when his contract is up. Douglas Lima is going to be fighting Lorenz Larkin. Both these dudes fought in the UFC. Not super interested in it, but Lorenz Larkin is a badass. So I'll have him. Matt Mitrione is taking on Fedor Emelianenko, who is considered to be the greatest ever. Hopefully this is Fedor's last fight. I really don't want to see him die in the ring. Because that could happen.
Yeah, what about the it was a boxer, UFC fighter, got knocked out and then ended up dying? You hear anything about this?
Yeah, I did. I actually watched it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he died in the ring. He got hit really hard. The other guy, I can't remember their names. He came over to him, and he was, like, holding him up in the corner. He was like, dude, I love you. I'm sorry. You're going to be all right, blah, blah. It was really sad, man. Anyway, so on a higher note, Fedor is fighting Matt Mitrione. Matt Mitrione fought UFC, but he also played in the NFL. Dude's a badass. I don't think he's going to beat Fedor. I really hope he doesn't beat Fedor. But I think Fedor wins. He turns a 37-4, and then he retires. And then Chael Sonnen versus Wanderlei Silva. I can't bet against my boy. Chael is one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yes, he is.
Wanderlei held belts in the UFC. He also fought a lot in Pride in Japan, which were like stage fights. He didn't really have like they would pick a winner beforehand, and yeah. Pride was run by the Yakuza in Japan, which is kind of crazy. But that's kind of how that worked. So they set up a lot of fights so that he would win automatically. So his record's kind of skewed to me. But Wanderlei's a badass, man. These two, they were on The Ultimate Fighter together, and like open the show. Wanderlei tried starting a fight with Chael because Chael was like disrespecting Brazil. Whatever. He was saying that they didn't have computers and that they played in mud tents and that their doctors waved like wishbones in front of people. And it was funny, man. Chael likes to talk shit. Yeah, this fight's been years in the making. They've been scheduled to fight twice. It hasn't happened. and I think that Chael wins. I really do. I hope he wins more than I think.
I hope he wins too. That's the whole reason I'm going.
All right. Well, anyway, that's it for us, I guess. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
It's a great episode 3. Go follow the new Twitter at Sports Dorks Pod.
Yes, and follow me at ZRobinson2. Don't follow Ty. His Twitter's
I finally learned mine at TyG13.
That's still not it.
Finally got it.
That's not it. I know what yours is. I'm not gonna plug
Come on, plug
terrible.
It.
You can find Ty writing at Double G Sports. You can find me writing at ConquestChronicles.com. That's it for now. So till next week. Hopefully the Knicks don't screw this one up. Hopefully the Heat do. We'll talk to you next week.
We might as well not even have a pick.